Well, most people don't realize that communication in relationships is one of the most important things. But when it comes to communication, most people don't truly understand what that means. They think communication just means, telling them what you want and things like that. And sometimes then people get it to the next level, where communication can be telling people what you don't want, which is what most people are afraid of. Most people are afraid of telling people what they don't want because if they tell them what they don't want, they're afraid of pushing that person away. But that fear of loss, when you are afraid of fearing to lose someone, what ends up happening is you end up subconsciously putting them in that situation anyway. What I want to suggest in this video, just as a thing, if you want to create a love life on your terms, if you want to understand communication and it's very holistic, very understanding what it is level, communication itself is about education. It's about showing someone who you are and showing them what you like and what you don't like. And sure, you might think, but I don't want to have to educate someone. They should just know, but how the fuck do they know if you don't tell them? How do they know who you are unless you express who you are? And this is why we always say, you just got to be yourself, you just got to express yourself. But most people don't realize that we are conditioning people into relationships with us. We are educating them on how to feel around us. We are showing them who we are and what to feel. Because it's what you do, what you say, but also what you don't do and what you don't say that actually creates that relationship with someone. For example, if your partner comes into the door and you welcome your partner with such an amazing hug and kiss every single time, pretty soon your partner is going to be happy walking through the door. But if your partner comes through the door and you yell and abuse at them and you put them down, pretty soon they're going to be dreading seeing you. This is why when I talk to most older couples, they often say their biggest piece of advice is don't take your issues to the bedroom. Because you don't want to condition that relationship or that part of your relationship to be about problem solving. You want to condition that part of your relationship to be about love. And so one of the biggest things when I find to creating a love life on your terms, to actually understanding what makes relationships work and why some relationships die, it's because sometimes when we're operating in a state of lack, when we aren't really fully being ourselves, when we are feeling like we need someone to look after us for a second, or we want that person to like us, we're actually conditioning them through our actions and through what we're saying, and sometimes through our inactions and what we're not saying, into feeling certain things. For example, it might be that you're afraid of asking someone out, right? And you're afraid of asking someone out, or you're afraid of being asked out, and so you avoid being in those situations. But pretty soon, you condition that relationship to be just a friendship relationship. It's through that inaction and that in-expression of who you are and what your wants and desires are. This is why sometimes as well, when it comes to things that you aren't happy with, it is super important to express those things. Because if your partner does something that makes you upset, or if your partner does something that makes you just feel invalued, and you express it, right? There are ways to express it. I'll get into that in a second. But if you express it, then your partner knows that maybe they shouldn't express it in that way, or maybe they should decide in a different way how to express themselves. But if you hold it in and you don't share those things that make you feel anxious, those feelings that make you feel scared, those things that make you feel undervalued, your partner will never know. And when your partner doesn't know, how do they know how to help you? It's like most people, when you're in a relationship with someone, and I'm talking now relationships generally as well, we want to know, we want to be able to help you. Let us know. That's the thing. Most guys, we really respond well to direct input. We want to know what we want to do to make you happy. It's like not any harder than that. If without that we're unsure, we think, okay, I guess I'm doing a good job already. But if you want the relationship to go forward, and you don't express that, then he's never going to know. What I find here is then, when it comes to expressing themselves, most people then are afraid of being needy. And I don't know if that's you, or maybe you know someone who's like that. The simple thing is, it's actually pretty okay to be needy. When you're afraid of being needy, it ends up manifesting in really weird behaviors. For example, some people are like, but I hate being needy. And it's like, well, are you thirsty? Do you need water? You're not afraid of getting water. You just go to the tap and get it. When you are not afraid to be needy, right? When you don't let that action affect you, what you end up doing is, as the phrase is, kill the monster while it's small. You end up expressing yourself at a deeper level quicker, so it doesn't become this bigger monster. It doesn't become this thing that is, oh my God, I haven't told him that every time he comes in, or he's forgotten my birthday 3 years in a row and now it's this big deal. It's like, it doesn't become a big deal when you express it at a smaller, more nuanced level, when you allow it to actually come out. But they will never know, your partner will never know unless you truly express it when you need to express it. And that fear of being needy will ultimately stifle your energy flow. That'll stifle your flow from being able to express yourself. Now, what I find is with most people is when we give them permission to be needy, when we give them permission to be needy in a relationship, they end up doing all the stuff that they needed to do. It's like, sure, they might need someone to listen to them. And it's like, oh my God, if I express myself to my partner, they're not gonna like me. It's like, well, that's because you've been altering your behavior. And when you altered your behavior, you got someone who was attracted to that behavior, but not necessarily you. But when you are in tune with who you are on a multidimensional level, on, on your loves, on your hates, all these things, right? What ends up happening is you allow your partner, so we said communication is just education. We allow your partner to understand and to learn more about who you are as a whole level, not just who you are in a character level that you are trying to play a particular character or play a particular role to get a particular person's attention. And so what I find is when you operate from that level, when you allow yourself to be needy, the beautiful thing is you end up doing all the things that you were afraid of being needy. You make mistakes, sure, but when you do all these things, eventually you just stop becoming needy because you might have thought that, okay, I need my partner to get me a present or this or that, or need me to do these things. But when you realize that that doesn't make you happy, that you control your happiness, and through you controlling your own happiness, that's how you then connect deeper with your partner. That's the secret. So if I can give you anything from this video, it would just be simply two things. And the first thing is communication is education. We connect, we educate, and we communicate. We condition people to be in relationships with us through what we say and what we don't say, and what we do and what we don't do. But the second thing here is that it's actually okay to be needy. All those little things that you're afraid of expressing, they are worth expressing, because eventually when you don't express them, they're going to be big things later on. It's like I said with superficial things. Superficial things you might think are really stupid, but at a later point in time, they eventually become bigger things. You might think it's really superficial to want someone you're attracted to, but then later on when you're not attracted to your partner, that might be a big thing. So it's really important to allow these little things that we think are insignificant. The small things actually become really big things if we let them build up. But thank you so much for watching. This has been an amazing video, and the second video I filmed in Sydney, so I'm really happy about that. And if you haven't already got it, make sure to go to 7daysselflovecourse.com and get the 7-day self-love course, because that is absolutely amazing. And if you're interested in my program, my one-on-one 6 weeks results program, that is loveonmyterms.com. And make sure to like this video, because if you did, then I like you. And make sure to subscribe, because if you don't, Jen.
Yeah.
If you don't, Jen will be in the next video. Jen was helping me film. You're now in the video, Jen. And remember to live love on your terms. There we go.
Yay.